Welcome everybody to Setting the Trend Straight. My name is Brittany and I'm one of your Stop and Shop Nutrition Partners dietitians. Today's theme is food and mood. So I'll share an overview about the connection between food and some overall lifestyle habits and how that can impact our mood and specifically stress. April is Stress Awareness Month, so this is a time to raise awareness about the negative effects that stress can have. While there's no one single definition for stress, the National Institutes of Health notes that it is something that often leads to a mental, physical, or emotional strain or tension. Now, not all stress is bad. However, chronic stress can have a lasting impact on our health. When we're stressed, we go into our fight or flight response, and that releases our stress hormones, including adrenaline and cortisol. So once those are pushed, that leads to an increase in our heart rate, our blood pressure, and our blood sugar levels. Now, over time, stress can have an impact on our sleeping habits, can lead to fatigue or increased headaches, and also have an impact on appetite. You may find that you have a decreased appetite when you're stressed at first, but long term, it can lead to increased cravings for things that are high in saturated fat and added sugars, for example. So again, long term, with any chronic stress, that can put you at risk for some serious health conditions. When it comes to our food habits, things like not eating enough or eating regularly throughout the day to provide you with the energy that you need can have an impact on our mood. So you might get that over hungry feeling or hangry that you've probably heard before, where you're a little bit more irritable and stressed. Relying on foods that are heavily processed can have an impact as well. That can be one factor that can contribute to weight gain and can also lead to some insulin imbalance. So that would be when we have a quick increase in our blood sugar levels and then it might come crashing back down. That can certainly have an impact on our hunger levels, in our mood. And foods that are high in added sugars can also just have us feeling sluggish or fatigued. So what can we do in terms of kind of lifestyle habits and foods that we can turn to help with our stress levels? You may have seen certain foods marketed out there as, improving sleep or improving stress. For example, Post recently came out with Sweet Dream cereal that has B vitamins, zinc, and chamomile added to it, and that's marketed as an aid to help improve sleep. Dole makes something called boosted blends that are frozen smoothie ingredients that have been marketed to improve focus and memory and things like energy. And if you peruse the tea aisle, you probably have found that many have stress relieving blends. Now, each of these have certain things added to them that have then been marketed again to help improve sleep, mood, and stress. Each one of those components are actually naturally found in whole foods as well. So that's where we'll turn our attention to today. Before diving in and highlighting some of the different foods and how we can add them into our days and weeks, I do also just want to acknowledge that, eating these foods will not magically cure all of your stress. There are many factors that contribute to chronic stress. Following an overall balanced eating pattern and mixing in some of these foods may be one component that can help with stress management. But again, just wanted to emphasize that, like many things, there is no magic bullet, and these can just help support your overall healthy lifestyle. So we want to start the day off right, starting with breakfast. And here is where we can enjoy oatmeal. A nice warm bowl of oatmeal is certainly comforting and may just improve mood on its own. The oats also have B vitamins that help decrease our stress hormones and boost our brain's production of serotonin, our feel-good chemical. Now, as I said, you can turn to oats and have a nice cozy bowl in the morning. You can also, as this weather is getting a little bit better, make something called overnight oats. So that's where you can soak some oats in either milk or a non-dairy beverage overnight, maybe mix in some fruit, nuts or chia seeds, sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon, and then you can pop it in the fridge and let it soak overnight. Then you have breakfast ready to go in the morning, nice and refreshing. Again, with this warmer weather, you'd have that to look forward to. And that in itself could also help save a little bit of stress in the morning, especially if you find that your mornings are quite hectic, if you're trying to get out the door. Knowing that you have breakfast made ahead of time and ready to go can help alleviate a little bit of stress as you start your day. Now, alongside your oatmeal, you can slice up some nice oranges. Oranges are packed with vitamin C, which can help decrease cortisol and decrease our blood pressure. Now, outside of oranges, this powerhouse vitamin can be found in things like tomatoes, bell peppers, leafy greens. That combination in itself would be a nice addition to breakfast as well for things like a tofu or egg scramble. If oranges aren't your go-to, you can still turn to some other citrus fruits like grapefruit to get some vitamin C in to start your day. Moving on to lunchtime. This is where you can add some nice avocado. Avocado is packed with stress reducing B vitamins. It can also help decrease our blood pressure thanks to the potassium and monounsaturated fats that it contains. This is perfect for adding a nice creamy spread to sandwiches. You can dice it up and add it on top of things like salads or tacos. And we still have some of those colder afternoons, so I like to dice it on top of my soups to have a nice creamy topping there as well. So great addition to keep in mind for your lunches. In addition to avocado, lunch is a great time to pile on some spinach. Spinach has magnesium, which is a mineral that helps combat headaches and fatigue. It can also help relax our muscles and promote sleep. So certainly something that you can turn to as you're trying to improve your mood and reduce stress. Magnesium can also be found in things like beans, whole grains, seeds like pumpkin seeds and salmon. And actually all of those combined on top of a bed of leafy greens would make a really nice satisfying lunch as well, while getting in some of those great nutrients. Now, as we move on to snack time, gets to be about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you're looking for a little pick-me-up to get you through the rest of the day. This is where you could turn to something like unsalted mixed nuts. Crunchy snacks like some mixed nuts can help relieve tension in the jaw that may be built up due to stress. Plus, things like cashews have zinc in them, which has been associated with decreasing anxiety. And almonds have things like B vitamins and vitamin E, which gives some immune support. Snack time is a great time to bump up your berries too. And thinking of that warmer weather, we're coming into berry season. So strawberries, blueberries, raspberries are great to get a little bit of sweetness in for your afternoon snack. They contain antioxidants, which help protect and repair our cells, certainly an essential function, especially during times of stress. This would actually make a great combination if you pair up some of those unsalted nuts with the berries for a nice balanced snack. You can also use berries to add natural sweetness to things like plain Greek yogurt or even oatmeal. That makes a great afternoon snack. Doesn't have to be just for breakfast and can really help power you through until you get to dinner time. As we get to dinner time, this is where I'd encourage you to go for garlic. As mentioned, when we are stressed, that can help, that actually decreases our immune support. So finding small ways to give us a little bit more support there, like adding in our berries, can really help improve our immune system and keep us going strong during times of stress. Now, garlic has a compound naturally occurring called allicin, along with other phytonutrients and antioxidants that give us that full immune support. Plus, added bonus when it comes to garlic, it had tons of flavor without us needing to turn to salt. The sodium that is found in things like table salt has a direct connection to blood pressure. And since that can increase during times of stress, finding other ways to flavor our food, such as with garlic or fresher dried herbs and spices, is great to turn to. As you're thinking about your dinners for the week and making that grocery list, be sure to keep fish on your list. Fish that are high in omega-3s like salmon, tuna, and sardines can help decrease the spike in our stress hormones, adrenaline and cortisol, and help us stay calm, cool, and collected. Now, it is recommended to have 2 servings of fatty fish in each week. And I know that cooking fish can sound intimidating, sound like it might take some time, or really understand what you need to do to have the fish turn out well. So that's where I like to keep some canned options on hand, like canned tuna or canned salmon. Makes it super easy to get in those 2 servings per week. You don't even need to think about it. If you just pop it open and add it on top of your lunchtime salad, you can use it as a sandwich filling or a taco filling for something a little bit different. If you are looking for an elevated meal, you can actually use canned salmon for making things like salmon cakes for a little bit nicer of a dinner, Plus, it makes for great leftovers that you can enjoy for lunch or another dinner down the line. Meal planning in itself can be a little bit stress relieving so that you're not, getting to the end of the day and have that question looming over you of what's for dinner and what am I going to feed my family. So having some meals that are either quick to pop open and get on your plate or meal prep and enjoy for the rest of the week can help with that as well. Now, as we turn to the end of the evening and you've enjoyed your dinner, this is where you could indulge in a little bit of dark chocolate. So dark chocolate can help increase our endorphins and decrease those stress hormones. Plus, studies show that eating chocolate generally just makes people happy. So why not have that to wrap out your evening? And along with your dark chocolate, you could sip on some tea. So green and white teas are high in naturally occurring phytochemicals from the camellia plant that have been shown to help decrease stress and anxiety. Now, if you're somebody who finds trouble, falling asleep or getting into that sleep routine, you could also turn to chamomile tea, which is supposed to help with calming our nerves and improve sleep. A few small tips when it comes to tea too. Like our oatmeal, sipping on something warm can certainly just be comforting. And getting into having some tea before bedtime can help you with a little bit of a bedtime routine. So having these small little signals to yourself that, the day is done, it's time to unwind, things like shutting off that technology, maybe reading a book, having some tea can all signal to yourself to kind of get into that bedtime routine, slow down, and help improve your sleep hygiene overall. And actually leading to that, in addition to working in these great foods throughout your days and weeks, be sure to just keep overall lifestyle habits in mind when it comes to managing stress. So that means prioritizing sleep, making sure you're getting adequate exercise in your days, practicing breathing exercise, meditation, mindfulness. If you're looking for tips when it comes to mindful eating, we have a class on that we're offering this spring as well. Actually, our first class is tonight if you're interested in joining. So all those together can help with managing stress overall. Again, incorporating these foods in can help support your overall health, and the different components of it can help with reducing stress, but it really is multifactorial when it comes to chronic stress. And if you are experiencing chronic stress, please be sure to reach out with your healthcare provider to set up a plan that works best for you. Now, I've run through all of these foods, hopefully given a few easy ideas on how to add them into your weeks. I do hope that you keep them in mind throughout April as part of Stress Awareness Month and beyond, and hope that you can also join us. We have our next trends class 2 weeks from now called The Dish on Non-Dairy. So we'll do a close up on some of those non-dairy products that seem to be popping up quite